Howdy, folks. I have not gone live on Facebook in a long time. I'm live on YouTube and Facebook, both for the first time in a long time. Usually it's just YouTube, but I figured, what the heck? Let's go. Let's go live on Facebook too. Uh, I'm likely to be here alone because of the hour. It's early for some, late for others. It's 11:30 p.m. Central Time. But I am alone on the panel, so due to that time, and so if I am slow to respond to comments, it's because I'm sorry, I'm doing all the things I usually do before I get started. um, yeah, I see I'm already being held for review, and I just started. That's funny. On Facebook, I mean on YouTube, that is. That tells me it's an algorithm. Anyway, so that's where we are. And thank you to whoever gave me the like on YouTube. And we're going to get back to it. We have, wow, Steve Good. And Aussie Man. Hello, Steve Good. Been a long time, sir. Hope everything's going well for you. He done got moved and getting his whole house set up and stuff. And happy holidays to you too, Steve. And Aussie Man is also known, I call him Aussie Man Bill, but his name is Bill. Good to see you, Aussie Man. Excuse me for coughing. I believe this is my latest pattern. I may be wrong. No, I have one just before it. This can be found on woodenvisions.com. I just didn't post the link because that would have been too proper. I figured, what the heck, let's go live. It's been a while, so this is the last second decision. Things have been better, Steve, but I'm alive, so that's a good thing. It's dang good to see you again. I haven't seen you either in a while, Bill. I am inundated with ladybugs here. I don't know what the proper name for them, but anyway. So if you hear me randomly blowing, it's because they're getting around my mouth. Anyways, this is I have a rectangular version of this one as well as this oval version. I also have a version of Santa where he's looking surprised, and I also have a version of that in the oval. But I also have over 2,000 patterns on woodenvisions.com, so y'all check that out. That is sponsored by That's sponsored by Harnell Media. Very affordable websites, very quick turnaround time, depending on what you want. Affordable, great communicator, and I highly recommend them. Always a treat to have Steve Good around. It's a treat to have everybody around, but I know Steve Good's extremely busy, so I don't get to see him that often. So it's a treat for me. But highly appreciate Bill as well, and he finally got his Chuck Connors pattern. Over 2,000 patterns on woodenvisions.com. And since this is a last minute decision to do this live, I don't have any kind of lesson planned. But on most of my lives where it says live stream number such and such, I will start it out at least the first 30 minutes with some kind of instruction, kind of a back to the basics thing. Because sometimes when you've been scrolling a while, you forget to address the beginners, and I don't want them to feel left out. So any questions you may have, please throw them on out there. Now, please know that since I'm here by myself, I will have to look between cuts in order to read the comments and address your comments, because I know the viewers are what make these things. So I appreciate everyone, we all, even if you don't comment. So I'm going to get back to scrolling. This is just me. I always start, if it's a person or an animal, anything with a face, I always start with the face, more so the eyes. The reason why is because if I did all the beard and everything else in the background, and then I got to the recognizable features, so to speak, If I broke one of those, then I will have done all that other work for nothing. So that's why I always start with the face, because that's identifiable features on most people. And yeah, so that there's that. So if you have any questions, please do not hold back. That's how we all learn. Nobody will make fun of you. Now, although this is another quirk about me, number one, I only use spirals because they cut in every direction. That's how I'm able to cut so large. This piece is 25 inches tall, 2 feet 1 inches tall for those that don't want to think about it, 19 and 3/4 wide. And I forgot what my point was. Oh, although the distance between me and this blade never changes, I have something I call visual comfort. If there's some hanging over the table edge is right here. So in order to do visual comfort, although that blade distance from me never changes, there's a lot less hanging off the edge of the table. Now I paint in these pants, that's why they look like crap, and I call them happy pants. But anyway, now you'll notice almost none of it's hanging off the table. That is what I mean by visual comfort. Plus, on a straight line, which there are none here, it's just a visual comfort thing, anyways. But that's why when you hear me use the term visual comfort, that is what I'm referring to. See what else. This is 2 pieces of 1/4 inch maple ply stack cut. I'm using brad nails to hold them together. So if you see any random dots like that, that's what those are, brad nails. So I cut those areas last so that it stays together. I already cut the perimeter and sanded that, so I don't have to mess with that later. But other than that, you've heard everything. So if you have any questions, please throw them on out there, and I will be glad to answer them. If I don't know them, I'll lead you to somebody that does. And I'm going to get to scrolling. This is a 22-inch Hegner. It's a German-made saw, but sold out of Delaware, I believe. The table for it is only about 9 inches wide by 17 inches deep. So I put a piece of plexiglass over the top of it, 4 feet wide by 2 feet deep, because I like to cut big, because I'm weird. But I'm proud to be weird. If you hear that noise in the background, that is dust collection, because I'm trying to clean as I go. And I'm using number 5 flat-ended spirals by Flying Dutchman. Flying Dutchman is all I use, and I only use spirals and only use number 5s and number 3s. I get them from woodenteddybear.com. I am not sponsored by them. I wish I was, but I'm not. Hello, Steve Nealon. Steve Nealon is Harnell Media, the one I was just telling y'all about. He sponsors the show, does my website, woodenvisions.com. Good feller, and he's not just a 9-to-5er, by God. Y'all check out harnellmedia.com if you need an affordable, good website, by golly. All right, I really am going to start scrolling here after I'm also not sponsored by Dr. Pepper, but I often stop and take a swig because it's my drink of choice. Excuse me. Hello, Herb. Herb scrolling station. All right, so again, since this was a pop-up last-minute decision, there is no necessary... There is no lesson necessarily in the beginning of this, but I will answer any questions that are out there. And let me take a swig of my drink and we'll get going. Good to see y'all here. It says we got 6 people watching. Believe it or not, I just got tired of messing with the leopard. That's why I started something else. The leopard is, yeah. I won't call it too detailed because I love detail, but there's just 50 zillion spots, and I just got tired of messing with it. It's off behind me, but we'll get back to it eventually. It's probably going to be one of those when I'm not filming kind of thing. All right, let's put the cat back on and let's get to scrolling. I do not use flat blades. It's not because I'm anti-flat blades, just because I don't know how. Most people are scared to death of spiral blades, but I'm scared to death of flat blades. The spirals cut in every direction, that's why I use them. All right, let's get back on it. I've already done the other eye and around it. So starting with the eyebrow. I don't know why. It's just the first place I decided to go. But then after that, I'll do the eyeball, and then we'll just move around from there. Yeah, I finally started 10 minutes in. Sometimes I make design changes on the fly, and one of those being right now, I don't want as big of a cut on this lower part of the eyebrow because it's a light colored eyebrow, and the less I cut out of it, the lighter the eyebrow appears. But if I make a bunch of big cuts out of it, it'll look like a dark eyebrow, and I don't particularly want that. There's many ways of adhering a pattern to wood. My way is therapeutic for me, so I just trace it with carbon paper, sometimes known as transfer paper, and it sands right off with sandpaper. So I mean, it adds more work, but it's therapeutic for me, and that's why I go that route. And this is a very long time since I live streamed on Facebook, so I'm glad I decided to reconnect that because, I mean, although it doesn't add to monetization, that's not why I do this. I stopped doing it on Facebook so I could grow my audience on YouTube, but you know, it is what it is. So I'll starting on this live stream, I'm going to start doing Facebook and YouTube for the live streams. And I don't have a set schedule because I used to do them daily, and suddenly I just, whenever I can get around to it. I'm not sure what to talk about. I personally hate dead air, but I don't want to talk just for the sake of talking, so bear with any silence you hear. If I know Herb, he's sitting there comfortable in his recliner. If he couldn't sleep, then he's sitting there at his desk cussing. And Steve Nealon's headed to bed soon, usually around this time. Or at least winding down and stepping away from the computer. Most times when I'm not live, I'm listening to music. Personally, I heart radio, but during the day I listen to talk radio because I'm an old man, and I never dreamed I would do that, but here we are. I do have other Santa designs on woodenvisions.com. One of them's Grumpy Santa. Another one that has different sayings with it. Just look up Santa in the search area on woodenvisions.com, and you'll see the different versions. Yeah, let's go ahead and cut out the eyeball. And also, man, over in Australia, it says it's not sleepy. It's only 4:45 p.m. there. There we go. Yeah, it's coming up on midnight here. It's 16 till. So right now, I believe it's Tuesday. I don't have my days and nights straight. But it's Wednesday there in Australia. Quite a ways into it. Down here Here in a second, I can turn the piece where it's right side up for the viewers. Well, I'll stay here in a second, but after I'm done with the eye area, the glasses and all that. Anytime you see me going back and forth like I'm doing right now, if I didn't get right on the line and I want to get a little bump out of the line or whatever, I use the power blade of a little mini sander to sand to the line. And I never know how long or short these live streams will be. I try to do at least an hour, but it just depends on how I feel. But I took a late nap, so there's that. Hello, Chuck Nagillum. Hopefully I said that correctly. Either Chuck Nagillum or Chuck Nagillum. I'm going to go with Nagillum because it sounds right. All right. I was nowhere near the pilot hole I was looking for. What I'm doing is what they call bottom feeding. You're feeding the blade through the pilot hole from the bottom. So it's literally bottom feeding. If you do it from the top, which is not real easy to do on a Hegner. Oh, it's mulligan backwards. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know if I pronounced it right. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, if you feed it from the top, it's called top feeding. David Jones has joined us. Hello, David. What in the blue blazing Sam hell is going on in here? Almost 1 in the morning, and all I hear is a scroll. So that's all I hear too. That my voice and dust collection. But by golly, somebody's got to do it at some point. Well, I do appreciate everybody taking the time to drop by. So let me get back to it. There was no early notification. There's usually only 30 minutes to an hour anyway, but this really was a pop-up decision to go live, so that's why there was no notice or thumbnail or where to find the pattern or any of that. If you look real close, bottom of the viewing screen, it says woodenvisions.com. That's a hint of where you can find this pattern. Meaning woodenvisions.com. There you go. Yeah, along with 14 ebooks, some swag, and stuff. Chuck is asking how I control the dust. This right here. Now on the older version of this, that plastic tube right there used to come right up under here, and it would blow it towards the user. So that was an upgrade added. There's a bellow under the lower arm. So when the lower arm goes up and down, it squeezes that bellow and it puffs air through here. And this is long enough that you can aim it back, or however you want to aim it. And I just loosened it like an idiot. That's how I control it. And I also have recently added dust collection. Big old fat hose, not my leg. That hose right there, I have it zip tied up under there, aiming at the hole in the table. And again, my pants, these are my lounging around pants, and also painting them so I don't ruin my whole wardrobe. So that is how I control the dust. Thank you for your question. I love having questions to answer. All right. I am now. This is only going to be funny to you if you have a sense of humor, but I'm considering doing this same Santa with a middle finger sticking up instead of the shush. So if you have a sense of humor, hello, Billy. Billy Burt, Messy Studios, also the Messy Scroller. Y'all check him out on YouTube as well. So yeah, I am considering doing a middle finger version. So I hope, if you get easily offended, then you won't like me. Anyway, Aussie Man Bill says, I'm a top feeder using a laser to locate the hole. An idea I got from Steve Good. It works so well. Yeah, I remember you talking about that. I wish I had the brains to do that. But I only top feed when I use my Seiko. And I don't know why I waited till I got the Seiko to start doing that, but the Hegner is definitely not beneficial to top feed because of the clamping, the way they clamp. The Hegner uses these, so it's not near as easy to load the clamp and tighten it and all that. So that's why I always bottom feed. So yeah, as soon as I can figure out, I'm spitting on my table when I cough. That's why you're supposed to cover your mouth. So yeah, I'm gonna do his glasses and crap, and then I'll have it turned around where y'all can see it. But for that visual comfort, I'm gonna have it turned this direction. Hello, Shay. Shayley Morehouse, inspired by Shayley.com, goes by Midnight Scroll of Her on YouTube. I don't know why YouTube took away the ability to check out the channel of somebody out in the chat, where you could just click on the dots and say go to channel, but no, now you gotta type it in and all that crap and hope it finds them. It was a pop up. I do have a Joe Biden Let's Go Brandon design, but I don't have a Santa Let's Go Biden. This was a last minute, literally a last second decision to post this. Hello, Chris Nealon. Thank you for joining. So I don't know if that plays into the notification or not, but I'm live on Facebook and YouTube now. So I stopped doing Facebook for a while, but we're going to change that. I don't believe we've had any comments from Facebook, but I don't know. Excuse me. Hopefully, I'm live on Facebook. It's been so long since I did it on Facebook. Maybe I did something wrong, but I'm pretty sure I did it right. I'm going really slow here because I don't want to screw up the shape of the glasses. I'm at 1/3 line anyway. And I can feel a ladybug on my neck, and I can't do anything about it because I'll get a wiggle in the line. Ladybugs are about the only bug that doesn't creep me out if it gets on me, but I still don't want it crawling on me. And I think it just went inside my shirt, so that's great. I'm gonna... Yeah. Okay. It was on my head earlier. Damn it. Sorry. I try to avoid anything less than more than G-rated, but I'm getting bombarded by damn ladybugs. No, if it was a spider, it would feel different. And I'd scream like a little girl. These are just typical, regular, everyday ladybugs. I just realized I'm not really showing much on the camera here. Alrighty then. It's more annoying than anything. I'm not scared of ladybugs. I just don't want anything crawling on me. Except when sorry. Yep, one just flew over me and is sitting on the. There he is. I wasn't lying. I say there he is, but I don't know the. Yeah, he's gone. If you'd have told me I'd have gotten 8 viewers at almost midnight, I wouldn't have believed you. But I should enjoy Facebook and YouTube, by God. If I can get the ladybugs to stay off of me, we'll get scrolled quicker. And for those of y'all wondering why, other than, hellos and stuff, that I read comments out loud, it's because some people just listen to YouTube. And I take the time to comment. I want to acknowledge them all. I do miss some when I'm by myself. But I try to catch them all. I think Aussie Man kind of made up a song, or made it his own. Well, I much more prefer ladybugs than I do June bugs. And I can't find the stupid pilot hole, because that would be way too convenient. There we go. Now that I've had 2 ladybugs on me, every tickle I feel like I got a bug on me, but I'm probably just thinking about it too much. It could just be a single hair moving. Anyway. Now, if that was a infestation of spiders crawling on me, this live stream would be over. Yeah, just saying. And I went off the line, and when you go off the line like that, you just gotta kind of suck it up, because if you jump back to the line, it'll stick out like a sore thumb. But once I sand, where I went off the line won't even show. It's just the glasses are slightly shaped slightly differently than they would have been. So I went off the line right there, and I stuck with it once I did. Well, then I'm surrounded by good luck, Shay. Not dune buggies. Or dune bugs, Bill. Alright, so we're almost done with the glasses, and then we'll move on over to something here so that I can scroll with it right side up. Right side up for the viewer, anyway. It's sideways for me, regardless. If you're watching from YouTube and you're not subscribed, I hope you'll consider it. And if you do, click on the bell and the word all, and you won't miss any time I go live. I would say project videos, but I stopped doing those a long time ago. I much more prefer live streams because it's real time interaction. And you don't have to edit a bunch of crap. I'm glad I didn't go real far off the line over there, or that sometimes you go off the line too much and you can't really fix it, but there's no law saying you can't redesign it as you go. And I was going off the line there because the angle I'm cutting it at, the blade was in the way of the line, and I was too lazy to turn it. But it was going off the line in the waist side, so I just worked my way up to the line. I always cut just to the inside of a line if I can. On a single line, I cut right on the line. That would have a waist side because there's an area to cut out. But that single line, I cut right down the middle if I don't go off the line. And Austin Man says, Ladybug crawling on you means you're going to come into money, so they say here. Well, that wouldn't bother me in the least. Billy says, BRB got to help the wife get in bed. She had surgery on her foot today. Well, I hope everything goes well with her, Billy. All right. If anybody has any questions or comments, please don't hold back. That's how we learn or fulfill curiosity. I assume I'm live on Facebook. I mean, I have a like that's showing up from there, but I haven't seen any comments from Facebook, and I have 3,000 plus people there. Calvin Bass on YouTube says, "Are you still using Flying Dutchman number 5?" Yes, sir, I am. I do have number 3s, but I only use them in emergencies. But I use number 5, and of course I had it. There we go. Wooden teddy bear. I would love to be sponsored by them, but it's not in the cards. But I am sponsored by Hornell Media. That's my website, woodenvisions.com. Y'all may wonder why I go back to the beginning of the cut. It's just wherever there's the biggest opening, I go back there with the blade. I don't know why. Thank you, Steve Nealon. Yes, I am live on Facebook. He's posting from there. People on YouTube can't see Facebook posts and vice versa. That's another reason I read them. Chuck says, what type of wood do you like to use? My favorite is what I'm using. It's maple ply. I got it from Ace Hardware in Pearland, Texas, so I don't know where other people could get it. But I'm stack cutting 2 pieces of them. They're advertised at 1/4 inch, but they're more like 3/16 each. And Robin has joined us. Charles, I just scrolled to Santa too. Cool. Robin does lives as well. Robin's buys and DIYs. Brian Gidney, long time no see, says, oh, that's cool. He's watching from Facebook. Thank you for watching, Brian. Good to see you, sir. And I just found a spot I forgot to drill a pilot hole, and that sucks, but it's not the end of the world. It's a little bitty triangle. I'll get it later. I'm going to do one more cut for the glasses, and then I'll turn it around so y'all can see it right side up while I'm scrolling. If I can find the stupid pilot hole. Not the one I was looking for. Come on, Cletus. Here we go. This is one of my latest designs available on woodenvision.com. If you don't want to type in Santa for a search, just look under the category of newest when you go to shop and patterns for sale and click on the term newest, or you can type in the search for Santa. I don't remember all the categories I put this under. Hello, Happy Hoarder. I believe your name is Jerry. Alright, I'm going to take a quick swig of Dr. Pepper and get back on this. Bye, guys. Appreciate y'all joining me. Wow, 12 people after midnight. That's pretty cool. Robin says, I went on Steve Good's website, got the pattern for the gnome garden stake, and made him into Santa. Cool. What's up? Summers Woodworking is Brian Gidney. He's now on YouTube. Howdy. All right, let me do this. This is a shadow on the cheek and the leg of the glasses, and then whatever that is. And then I'll flip it around. That way, everybody can see it right side up. That's more enjoyable to me as a viewer. So for me, it'll be sideways regardless, but I want y'all to enjoy what you're seeing. And if you're just joining, I've been working for a lot of live streams. I've been working on a leopard, but I got tired of messing with it. So I decided to change the theme. Still got a bunch more of that leopard left to do, but it's one of those things I can do when I'm not live. Thank you, Robin. All right, we're going to flip it upside down, or not upside down. We're going to flip it around so y'all can see it right side up, and I got to figure out where I want to scroll while I'm doing that. And we'll just randomly pick a spot. And I will adjust the camera so you can see as much of it as possible. Alrighty. Please don't hold back if you have any questions or comments. I'll be happy to read them. I don't know if that looks like me, but I'll take it. Hello, Denise B. Denise says she's new here. Thank you for making me cough. Thank you for being here, Denise. If you're not subscribed, I hope you consider it. But I appreciate you dropping by. If you want to tell us where you can be found, and if you have an active channel, let us know. It's all welcomed here. But if you're not subscribed, I hope you'll consider it. Click on that bell, click on the word all, and by God, anytime I go live, you'll get to see it. For anybody watching that doesn't have a clue what I'm doing, this tool is called a scroll saw. You thread this 5-inch long spiral blade through a pilot hole. Goes up and down like a sewing machine. You just steer it on the spiral blade. Cuts in every direction, so you don't have to spin the piece. You just do what I'm doing. I will warn you, it is addicting. Started in 1997, and here we are. Started designing patterns because I like detail, and there wasn't a whole lot of detail patterns out there. And that's another, here we are. I only have a little over 2,000 now. At woodenvision.com. And for anybody that's never used a scroll saw, it's one of the safest tools in a shop. I would very confidently teach a 5-year-old to use it, or when I was just a random example for an age, but you cannot hurt yourself on a scroll saw using a spiral blade unless you're trying to. And if you ever cut yourself, it's more likely to be with a flat blade because all the teeth are on the front, and it'd be the equivalent of a paper cut. But it's hard to hurt yourself with a spiral blade. I can pluck the blade and not hurt myself at all. So there's that. Denise B says, "Thank you. I just subbed." Robin sent me here. Thank you for that, Robin, and thank you for subscribing, Denise. I highly appreciate it. Alrighty then. I'm just going to do some more of the hat and then figure out where I want to go from there. Some people say cut all your little cuts out first, but because I cut large, I like to cut the big ones out first, so it looks like you've gotten more done. Unless it's where I have brad nails, which is the case right here. I have brad nails in that, so I don't want to cut that yet. But I am going to be cutting these, and then we'll probably start on the fur of the hat. I don't know. You'll know when I know. But sometimes in an area like this that is a big area that has brad nails in it, sometimes I will cut it and then I'll just use tape to hold it together. Because I don't need it to stay together in that spot necessarily with brad nails, but I don't use tape beforehand because that gets in the way. And it's always on interior cuts that I use the brad nails because I always cut the perimeter first. And I had one of the eyes in the perimeter already cut before I started the slide, so you didn't miss a whole lot. Now, usually I'm careful to stay on the line with certain detail, but when it's just like folds in the hat and hair and stuff like that, I'm not real as careful. Hey, Jen. Jen does live streams as well. Goes by Jen Sanchez, I believe is her name. Wood Bits and Pieces is what she goes by on Facebook and YouTube. Goes live all the time, by golly. I used to do it daily, but I lost my mojo. But I need to get back into that just to have a purpose in life. Not feeling a lot of purpose lately. That's just my own little issues. Anyway. I believe I found her through John's Cousins. I don't know how she found me, but I ain't complaining. Can't have too many friends and followers, and I hate to say fans because that sounds arrogant, so I'll just say friends and followers, by God. Excuse my coughing. And for those that care, I never really talk about this, but the equipment I'm using. This is a C925E webcam. It's on a wooden crane because the floor of my shop is wooden and it vibrates and it would be wavy. So it just hangs from the ceiling. I use 2 of these ring lights. I got off of Amazon. They're decently affordable. I believe they're about $81 each. I have one on either side for good lighting, and I also have a light up above me. And the scroll saw is a 22-inch Hegner. It's considered a high-end scroll saw. High-end and low-end basically means it holds up to more use if it's considered high-end. But there are middle-of-the-road price and quality-wise saws out there. And I believe that's all the equipment. And I'm wearing headphones with a mic on them. Dave Gatton helped me with that because people couldn't hear me over the saw when I used the microphone that came with the webcam. Chuck says, I have one of those Lowe's Porter cable scroll saws. Only done letters on signs, planning on doing some art. I got to stop procrastinating, LOL. Well, by God, uh, I support you, and feel free to get going on it. And there are some easy patterns on woodenvisions.com, but I prefer detail, but there are some easier ones. So if you want to check out woodenvisions.com, wouldn't bother me at all. Some of my older files, more so GIF files, do get an error on download. So if you ever place an order and don't get what you pay for, just let me know and I'll make sure you get it. We are working on the problem, but it's a involved long process because of how many files got affected. But not every pattern order you make, just the gift old gifts. Anyway, something to do with WordPress, I believe, is the theme of the site. I don't remember because I'm not technical minded. But something changed and it screwed up a whole bunch of them. I will always make sure you get what you pay for if I'm made aware of it. Like I said, it's not mandatory to stay on the line, but every now and then I just want to. That's why occasionally you'll see me go back on the line. Other times I don't give a crap, so I don't know what makes one go over the other. Ron Buchanan, long time no see, used to do a channel on YouTube called The Wood Traveler. I got to meet him. We built a wishing well, which is still in my front yard. He's watching from Facebook. Denise B says, PRB. Jen says, I've got to start making my own patterns. Just too busy to sit at a computer to learn to program and design. I don't know programs. That's why I do mine on paper. And don't learn patterns because you can keep buying from me. It wouldn't bother me at all. Just saying. Well, you got 13 people watching. If you have any comments, questions, complaints, inquiries, or suggestions, throw them on out there. And I'll be happy to address them if I see them. And every now and then this thing will stop in the down position, so I gotta, and it makes it hard for me to get the piece lifted up high enough for me to get the blade through the pilot hole. Now that's why I turned it back on and back off, so it'd be in the up position. Jim says, I have your patterns, but they're intimidating too. Now, and I'm not going to dog her for that. Now, she can scroll, so when most people say they're intimidated, it's more so they might find it impressive, but the average person doesn't want to spend 20 hours on a piece. So that's what scares most people away, and I'm aware of that. So I am limiting my audience, but I'm not trying to avoid people. It's just I prefer detail. I love realism. But whatever reason people find something intimidating, I'll let them decide that. But I think most times is people don't want to spend a long time on a single project. God, that's, and Denise is back with us. I hell, I've been working on that leopard. That leopard is 4 feet tall by 2 feet wide, and I just got tired of messing with that one. I'll eventually get back around to it. Excuse my sniffing and stuff. I think I have a moderate cold. I guess for giggles, I can show you all the leopards. Of course, 99% of y'all have seen them. Have seen it because it's been my last few lives. I can't get it within camera view without twisting myself all the heck. So, and Jen brings up a good point. Mostly because I use straight blades, your cuts are intricate and tiny, but I sure do appreciate the detail in them. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, I don't intentionally alienate straight blade, flat blade users, whatever you call them. I just, I love detail. So there's that. Ron says, okay, I moved over here. So Ron Buchanan is now on YouTube. Calvin Bass says, wood bits, don't look at all the cuts to be done. Just do one cut at a time. But her using flat straight blades may play into that too. So there's that. I think out of all the live streams I've done, the only one I've ever gotten done during the same live stream from start to finish was Darth Vader, and that's yeah. So there's that. Appreciate all the likes on Facebook and however many might be on YouTube. It doesn't show me that unless I go check it out. I touched on this earlier. Girl Saw is very kid friendly. The earlier you can start teaching a kid to mess with this, the better they'll be by the time they're our age. They'll blow us out of the water. And I have found people that are good with a sewing machine tend to start out pretty good on scrolling, at least with a spiral blade, because they're used to following a line, hand-eye coordination and stuff like that. So that's not a guarantee, but every time I've seen so far, it's happened that way. But I've never used a sewing machine. I'd have more clothes if I did. The pants are overrated. Just kidding. The only reason I'm holding this piece right here is vibration. I'm not worried about it breaking though. If you ever are worried about an area being brittle, you can have your fingers right there by the blade. It will not hurt you. And I'm reading comments is why I'm being still. Definitely thrive back your spirals, by golly. It opens so many doors. People might be telling me that about flat blades, but it is what it is. It's nothing to be afraid of, Denise. Someday you'll look back and say, I can't believe I was afraid of this. But the only warning I need to give you is that it can be addicting. But whether using flat blades or spirals, let the blade do the cutting. I still find myself pushing the blade. And you'll break more blades if you do that, but it's harder to break a flat blade than a spiral blade. And the reason why a spiral blade will break more often is because they flex in all directions, and any thin piece of metal that you flex more you flex it, the more it'll better the odds of breaking. But if you let the blade do the cutting, that's it's, heat and friction and all that kind of stuff. Figuring out where I want to cut next. I may go ahead and cut out this area that, although I have brad nails there, it's a big area, and I like cutting out the big areas. It looks like you've gotten more done, but let me turn it to where y'all can see it right side up. We're getting there, by golly. Yeah, for a while there, Robin was petrified, and now you can't get her off of the thing. That Steve being Steve. That's funny. Harnell Media says the worst you can hurt yourself is when it bores you to sleep and you hit your head. Now he has a lower level scroll saw. I believe it's a Win. He's not real thrilled with it, but he's appreciated that he has it. But yeah, you gotta want to do it to enjoy it, and that's the case with anything. Yeah, that's pretty funny. All right. I do have a fan on, so that's why you're occasionally getting away from the camera. And trying to decide where I want to go next. Probably this waist area. This could be another one of those, if you want to call it scary, it's a consistent curved line, and I want to stay on that line. And if I wave the line, I want it to be on the waist side, not the side I want to keep. So I'm going to go a little slower. Herb says, well, I got to say goodnight, folks. I've been looking at a computer screen all day, so hopefully this headache will go away. Hope you get feeling better, Herb. Appreciate you dropping by, sir. Good point. Harnell Media says, I don't bother to use it much. I've got a laser to do the work. Yeah, he loves his laser. By the way, I don't know if I said it earlier, Robbins Buys and DIYs, Wood Bits and Pieces, and Jen Sanchez. They both do lives. Billy Burt has done lives. It's been a while since I've seen a notification, but that doesn't mean he doesn't do them. But he does do live streams as well. So anytime you hear or see a name out in the chat, check and see if they have a channel or flat out ask them, and then check it out. If you like what you see, subscribe and do all the bell pushing. Ooh. All right, let me take a swig of Dr. Pepper and we'll get rolling again. All right, Bill says he hasn't done one in a while, but by God, you'll know when he does. Happy Hoarder, I believe that's Jerry, says, I do live streams. I'm not real familiar with Jerry, and I'm sorry for that, but that's a Happy Hoarder, so check out Jerry, spelled Geri. Bill says bye, Herb. Okay, we're just saying bye to Herb. All right, Billy. All right. I do enjoy my Dr. Pepper. So much that I drink straight out of 2-liter bottles because I'm unique like that. And that's how you get a permanent callus from the lip of the Dr. Pepper years and years. And that's why I have such a manly figure. Manly as in dad bod. With a little chunk. Denise says, Wood Bits and Pieces, I will sub to you later. Cool. We're just one big happy family. All right, now I gotta do this long straight, no, not long straight line, long curved line, and then hope I don't screw it up. Let me move this cord of my camera out of the way. Don't want anything to bump me. Okay. Now I always say I'm nervous. I can't think of another word, but excuse me. On a long straight line or a long curved line like this, I do not want to screw it up. The second I go into the waist area or into the non-waist area, I can't fix it. So I'm a little nervous, but we'll get through it. And Shaylee brings up a good point, saying only creators are on this lake, and we all try to support each other unless you're butt nuggets, but there's not a whole lot of butt nuggets. And that's me talking G-rated. Maybe G13? Yeah, okay. I don't know. Some people don't even like the word but there's that. And I'm putting my cigarette out, and then we'll get going. Don't smoke, kids. All right. Here. I'm not nervous about the wavy part. I'm nervous about the consistent curve because I don't want to screw it up. And that's a pain in the butt when you're nervous and want to get going, and then you break a blade during that thing. Because once you get it going and it starts going smoothly, if you break a blade, it kind of breaks your mojo, for lack of a better word. Here we go. But I'm cutting on the waist side of the line so that I can pull back if I start to go over the line. To me, it's almost just as hard as a straight line with a spiral blade. You got to maintain that curve. Any waves will show up. Waves in the line, that is. You may see me going back and forth a lot. And I'm going to go a lot slower than I do on some cuts. May get a little wavy, but I'm okay with that. I just don't want obvious waves. And the more I try to stay on the line, the more I go off of it. So that's lovely. Sometimes I'm staring so hard I go cross-eyed because of my eyesight. And every time I start to sense I'm going off the line, I'll push the piece just a little bit to make sure if I go off, it's going to be in the waist side. And I used to scroll a little bit better back before my eyesight went to crap, but it is what it is. There's worse problems to have. At least I have both hands, all my fingers so far. I'm not going to be near as careful when I'm doing the other side of this cut because with the hat, it's okay if I go off the line. It doesn't hurt to stay on the line either. I'm going to slowly come to a stop so I can readjust my hands. This is where if you have a sneezing fit, turn the saw off. I have a lot of designs that I put into ovals. Most times when I do something in an oval, I'll make part of it sticking out for kind of a 3D effect, but for some reason I chose not to on these Santa Claus designs. I went off the line there on purpose because it looked like I drew the line crooked. That was not intentional. And now we're just going to do the hat. I may go off the line intentionally to make this area a little wider. And I'm stuck on something right now, and I don't know what it is. Must have been one of the brad nails I didn't hammer it in good enough on the back side. Going off the line a little bit just to make that area a little bit wider. Even if you buy somebody else's design, anything you want to Any changes you want to make to a design, feel free to. And I'll catch up on comments as soon as this cut's done. Not being real careful about the line because it is just a hat. Doesn't hurt to stay on the line, but I don't lose sleep over it if I go off of it on something like that. No, I don't lose sleep anyways. Well, I love sleep. All right. Let me catch up on the comments there. Vince says, hello, Vince. Vince Duclos, I don't know how to say that. Hopefully I'm saying it right. What size type of wood is that? It's 1/4 inch maple. It's more like 3/16, but its average size is 1/4 inch. And I'm stack cutting 2 of them. They're about this thick each. There's Brad nailed together. John S. has joined us. Hello, John. Oh, and Calvin answered. Thank you for that. Shaylee says her wood comes in Friday finally. Shaylee, where do you get your wood? If I don't mind you telling people where you get it if it's an online store. Jen says, did you see my wood price comparison the other day, Shay? Insane. Yes, it is. It is insane. Okay, we're caught up in comments. I'm going to throw that pizza waste away. And I'm going to flip it over just long enough to cut that one. And then all the background cuts will be done. And I talked about taping this. I don't necessarily have to because there's brad nails and that cut right there. So that'll hold it together somewhat. But I may tape it here because of all the cuts in here. But now I was nervous about that cut, but when I go to do cuts like this, I'll even be more nervous because that's a single line cut, which is called veining. But I have to stay right on the line there. Now you can see I drew it a little bit wiggly. But if that gets wavy, I can't fix it because it's a single line cut. And that's scary. Alright, it's time for another swig of Dr. Pepper. It's always a good time for a swig of Dr. Pepper. I don't really adjust my pricing because I so rarely get sales. And that's not a whining, it's just the truth. I charge a decent amount because these things take a while to do. But art is also not a necessity, and I'm not a good salesperson because I have anxiety problems, panic disorder, so I don't do face-to-face very often. Okay, well, let it sell itself. Well, that don't do it. I need a manager. But I do have finished pieces on woodenvisions.com. Not a whole heck of a lot, but there are some. But prices are negotiable because I'm still filling that out. My general lower price is $125. That's usually about as low as I go unless it's something really, really simple, like a name or whatever. Chuck says, sub to Wood Bits and Pieces, Robin's Buys and DIYs, and Midnight Scroller. All right. Shaylee says, High Tech Crafts is where I'm getting my wood now, and that's spelled Haitek. And thank you for that, Chuck. Subscribe and always helps everybody, by golly. All right. having trouble even seeing the line, much less staying on it. Every now and then I'll see a wave in the line when I was tracing it on there, and my hand is not as steady as some things, so sometimes I intentionally go off the line to fix it by eye. Most people will adhere their patterns to wood. I trace mine on there, therapeutic, and I've also found spirals tend to pull the paper up. Of course, that was with the adhesives I was using at the time, but since it's therapeutic, I don't bother to change. Probably should, it would save time, but we don't always do what we should. This is just the frizzies on the edge of the white parts of the hat, so I have to be real careful, but for the sake of staying with what the design looks like, I'm going to go ahead and try to somewhat stay on there. Basically just a bunch of zigzag, which will flex the blade a lot. Better the odds of it breaking. Imagine having to do that with a flat blade. You'd have to zigzag your whole piece 50 million times. Yes, ma'am. I don't usually do live streams this late at night, and I don't know why. But I keep saying it, but I really got to get back into doing live streams more often. I used to do them daily, and I always say that too. But I believe we're almost to 280 live streams, but don't quote me on that. I've slept since then. I didn't number this one because it was a last-minute pop-up decision. And I don't know why I didn't number it, but the next one I do, I'll number it as if this one was numbered. And I can still change the title of this one. One thing I always want to tell people when I'm trying to teach how to use a spiral, but I can't really show you unless I had a microscopic camera in slow motion. But like what I'm doing right now, you can't see it in real time because it's so slight, but one key to using the spiral blade is to let the flake, if I could talk it would help. Let the flex come out of the blade towards the end of each line you're cutting. Like I'm doing zigzag, so right now I'm stopping the saw, letting the flex come out of the blade, and then I change direction. And you can't see that because it's so little. But letting that flex come out of the blade to finish a cut helps. I guess the only way you might notice is if you watch my hands. You might see them suddenly stop moving, but I'm moving so slow you can't really tell. I don't even know if my hands are showing. Well, one is. But the flex coming out of the blade is so minuscule, I think that's the word I'm looking for, that you almost can't see it. But I know I'm doing that. Hopefully if you can't see it, you can just take the word for it. So sometimes when I don't let the flex come out of the blade, I'm just changing direction as the flex comes out and adding more tension to it to make it cut the next direction. I hope that made sense because words are not my friend. been totally off subject. I also, I don't know of anybody else that does it, but I doesn't mean there's not. I always try to incorporate my signature into a cut. I cut it in. Either the letters are made of wood or they're cut from the wood. I hope that makes sense. And it's always in the lower right hand portion if I can help it. And yeah, it's funny, Shay. Anyway, the signature will probably be in here somewhere. Let me catch up on comments. And most of y'all know this because you're reading along, but anybody just listening, Denise heading off. And thank you for driving by, Denise, if you happen to still be here. Billy's back, got his wife all tucked in, good to hear. Life gets in the way sometimes, amen, says Jen. I said the amen part. Anyway, Shaylee says 2 hands, Charles, but that's Shaylee being Shaylee. Thanks, Chuck. Chuck says, already looks great, Charles. Thank you, sir. Okay, I'm going to figure out where I want to cut next, and I'll adjust the camera accordingly. Excuse me. Well, I see one random big cut. I might as well cut this one here. Hell, I don't know. There's no method to my madness. So far, I'm happy with how I've cut the curves. Inevitably, I tend to get them a little wavy, but I think I've done pretty decent, by golly. Just back up the camera until I can figure out what I want to do. Another reason I like doing the big cuts is, like I said, it looks like you've got more done, but it also makes it pop more. Even though you see it drawn on the wood, you know what it's going to look like. It's just for some reason seeing it cut just looks that much better. By the way, I got a mark where I have brad nails, so I remember to cut those last. And I'll do that with an X. I usually use a marker, but I don't want to have one nearby. And I just saw some a second ago, and I don't know where the heck they are. I found another area I forgot to drill a pilot hole, so I'm going to color that in to remind me. And there was one over here, too. I know there's brad nails up at the top. Here's another one. And I try to evenly space them out so every part of it is held. Here's another one. So that covers the side. But there should be some around here. There's one there, I know. There's one right there. And I know there's one at the top. That might be all of them. Now, if I wasn't trying to color these in where I forgot the pilot holes, then I could just color those in. They'd be easier to see, but there's a big old blue X on there anyway. Chuck, if you do have any kind of channel, you're welcome to tell us what kind of channel it is. And now, YouTube won't let you put a link in, but if you tell, I assume it's called Chuck McGillum. But if you want to tell us about your channel, you're welcome to. We don't discriminate or keep people away on here. That's how we promote each other. You took the time to watch this, so we can take the time to watch yours, by golly. Got 12 people watching. If you have any comments or questions, chunk them on out there. Excuse me. Yeah, after this big cut, I may go ahead and do around the mouth. I used to do the face first anyway. And 99% of people that come to watch these live streams, we like to support each other. That's why seeing Shay ask if he has a channel is not out of the ordinary because we like to support each other. Now, although I should or shouldn't, I always tell people, I don't tell people go to so and so and subscribe. I'll say go to so and so channel. If you like what you see, subscribe. Because, I haven't always seen the content of who I'm sending people to. It shouldn't be dependent on that. If you just want to support people, then just go to subscribe to everybody you see. Jerry says, I have a channel, but I know a lot of the folks on here. Chuck says, I have a Facebook, but haven't been on it in a while. I'm most active on Facebook, but not necessarily with scrolling, or at least not live streams. Arnell Media says, I have a couple dozen channels, but it would take too long to find all the links. And I did find another area with brad nails in it, so I marked that while I was babbling. All right, let's get back on this Scrollapalooza. I don't know why I chose to call it that, but I did. No, I just talked myself into taking another swig of Dr. Pepper because we don't want to get done too quick. Now, I almost never finish a project during a single live stream. So if you're here waiting on the end, I'm probably going to disappoint you unless I just get a sudden burst of energy, which I'm not known for. Robin says she's going to bed. Good night, Robin. Thank you for dropping by and for sending Denise over here. Oh, I love me some Dr. Pepper. All right, we're going to do this long piece of big old cut. Long piece of big old cut. That made all kinds of sense. All right. I'm sorry about the sniffing, but I don't know it's there till it's there. All right. So this being such a big cut, it's gonna be a while before I can read the comments. So 9 times out of 10, if there's an actual question, somebody out in the chat can usually answer it. But if it's specifically aimed at me, I will get to you as soon as I'm done with this cut, or I'll stop long enough to look, which I just did. Okay. And if you're just joining, this piece is 2 feet 1 inch tall, 19 3/4 wide. And I just noticed I haven't been attacked by a ladybug in a while. Yay. And I often catch myself pushing the piece harder than I should into the blade. I keep saying let the blade do the cutting, but alas, I am human. Excuse me. And I notice sometimes you'll see me treat it like a flat blade because I like to push the piece into the blade. I don't like to pull it because most often when I pull it, although it's a spiral, sometimes I break blades more often that way. So sometimes I'll take the blade out and go back to the beginning of the cut and come at it from the top again. I don't know why it does that. Maybe I'm inadvertently. I like using big words. People think I'm smart. Inadvertently, I might be pushing too hard or pulling too hard. I don't know. Next level. Jack Blabbit is my go-to live stream cuss word, and I do have T-shirts and caps that say that, even coffee cups, I believe. But I do have other ones. My tagline is "Scroll on." I think that's the term I'm looking for. And there's even "I survived Charles during live stream" one. There's a whole bunch of them. I may just suck it up and go ahead and pull the piece towards me instead of messing with turning the top. I could just flip it around, but I don't want y'all to have to see it upside down. All right, Jen is leaving us. Got to be up at 6 a.m. Thank you for dropping by, Jen. Sure, just drop them like flies. I'm kidding. We got 11 people watching. Appreciate you. I wish my body clock and self-discipline was good enough that I could actually have a set schedule for live streams, but that's just asking way too much of myself. I never know when I'm going to be tired. The meds I take make me tired, so there's that. Sometimes I can fight it, sometimes I can't. The meds I take are for panic disorder, not for being psychotic killer. All right. Good night, Jen. Shaylee says, "Night, Jen. I'm right behind you. Work is gonna suck." I assume you're leaving now, Shay. Appreciate you being here. And Steve Neal is leaving you. Yeah, they're definitely dropping like flies. uh, appreciate you dropping by, Steve, and thanks for all you do. And by God, we'll see you next time. And figure out where the heck I want to go next. Let's go ahead and mess with the mouth. Yep. I started to say something, then forgot what the hell I was going to say. That never happens. Yes, it does. And just for giggles, if you're wondering what that big cut was, that's the shadow created by the beard onto his coat. That's just for giggles. There's that. Thank you for dropping by, Shay. Yeah, let's go ahead and go to the mouth. or what mouth is showing anyway. All right. We're down to 8 people, but that's still 8 more people than 0, just saying. And those people that like to hear about me being Helper Review, I got Helper Review right as I went live, so go figure. Thanks, YouTube. Anyway. Now, because this is the mouth, it's not necessarily a recognizable mouth, but I still want to stay on the line in some spots more than others. But on the mouth, I would like to stay on the line. And I can see out of the corner of my eye that camera crane is waving. It's because I have a window unit and it cycles on and off, and that's why sometimes it's shaking, sometimes it's not. And yes, it's unless there's wind blowing, air blowing on me, I feel hot. So I know you're thinking, my God, but I'm in Texas, so it's not 30 below 0 anyway. It's probably mid to high 40s. According to my computer, it's 44, but without air movement, I feel hot. Anyway. And it just turned off, and I already feel hot. Go figure. At least the camera crane's not waving. Yay. I can't see the line because I have it in line with me. That's why I came back around to come at it from the top. Actually, Calvin, no, it's not. It was never necessarily injured, but yeah, my brother has it now too. Same eye. But I don't know what the deal is, but no, it's not. It's not as swollen as it was, but I guess I just forever have a puppy eye. And thank you for asking. So technically the mouth is done. It's all good. I guess for giggles I can just start on the hand. Let me go and do these two cuts are right up there by the finger, and then that'll kind of tie into the hand. Jerry says I make all kinds of Santas. Cool. I really need to check out your channel. You've been to a few of mine. I have yet to check out yours, and I apologize for that. I am terrible at keeping up with people's channels. Life likes to get in the way. And the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I can't find the stupid pilot hole I'm looking for. There it is. And Jerry, not that it matters, I'm just curious, are you male or female? I don't know why I'm asking, I'm just strictly curious. I identify as a male. Been born that way, you know. That's the world we live in, so I figured I had to say something. I'm too ugly and too deep of a voice to be a woman. Hi, my name is Mary. Female from Louisiana. I drove through Louisiana one time, but I almost never get out of Texas. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to drop by golly. For anybody that gives a crap, I'm in Gatesville, Texas. Not a lot of people have heard of Gatesville, but I'm about 45 minutes southwest of Waco. And we're going to do hand cuts. Whereabouts? Texas is pretty big, so, but I might have heard of it. And it's none of my business, but what made you go to Louisiana from Texas? I guess it was either a man or work or family. None of my business. I'm just making conversation. All right, Chuck is north of Waco. Pleasanton, never heard of it. Del Rio. All right, so you lived in both. I've heard of that one. I was born in Okinawa, but that's because my dad was in the army. Iowa. Okay. I believe that's what IA is. Unless that's a, oh, that could be a lowercase L, as in Louisiana. Yeah, there you go. Figured that out all by myself. Chuck, do you mind telling me the city or town you live in? I'm just curious if I've ever heard of it. You don't have to tell me. I won't stalk you. I don't have the energy to stalk people. Man, I can't find the stupid pilot hole, but I know it's there. A lot of the viewers, or the regulars, a lot of them are in Texas. Billy Burt's in San Antonio. Herb is in Lake Worth, right by Fort Worth. And I shouldn't have started naming people because now I'm going to forget somebody. He's near Whitney. Alrighty. Uh, Dang it, I shouldn't have started naming people. Rush Meadows is near Houston. We're all spread all over, by golly. I'm doing all these non-hair cuts because I know once I start doing the hair, it's going to be a pain in my pie duty, but it all got to be done. Well, hair and fur. Anyway. And the wind just kicked on, so you might get a little wave in the camera. Not me waving, but the camera itself waving. But I could wave if you want me to. Yeah, it was corny. And, excuse me, Jerry says, I live in San Antonio, too. I'm painting, and I only have one hand to type with, so I can't do capitals very well. I understand. Are you painting like a room or painting art? Or painting a craft? I don't, you know, I don't know what I mean to say. I'm not a fan of painting, but I like doing it because it, as far as like painting a room or a building, I like doing that just because it's something to do. But it's a pain in the butt while you're doing it. All right, painting a truck for a Santa dog that I made. Cool. I really need to check out your channel. Chuck says I used to live in Lake Worth too, right next to Lockheed. It was General Dynamics back then. Cool. Well, according to Herb, he lives right across the street from Fort Worth. I shouldn't be getting all specific on other people's behalf, but hell, he said it publicly. So, here's his address. I'm just kidding. I don't even know it, I don't think. All right. If there's any other curiosities, I'm 51 years old, but I don't act like it. Age is just a number. Billy's old because he's saying kids. Oh, a Santa doll that she made. Okay. Just trying voice to text. I can't do that. At one time, I texted somebody saying we need uh, uh, chicken burritos or something like that, bean burritos, and it speech to text said we need embryos. So yeah, I stopped trying that. Apparently, it doesn't like my accent. So Billy's going to bed. Thank you, Billy, for watching. Thank you for the compliment, sir. And Chuck is leaving us as well. Thank you, Chuck. All of y'all sweet dreams and stuff, and I'll sit here and see how long I can hang out. And appreciate y'all taking the time to drop by. If you're not subscribed already, please consider doing so. And if you do, click on the bell, click on the word all, and I'll be rich. I'm just kidding about that last part. It wouldn't bother me to be rich. I know money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure doesn't hurt. Just saying. I've been on the poor end of the spectrum, so I'd like to try the other end. All right. Let's take another swig of Dr. Pepper. Every time's a good time for Dr. Pepper. And those of you that use StreamYard, if you ever go live on Facebook and YouTube, Facebook does cut you off after 8 hours. I would know that because I've done a couple live streams that were longer than 8 hours. I think my record's just under 12 hours. I don't know how the hell I did that, but I did. All right. See, that sound tells me I don't have it in the clamp good enough. It can also mean loosen tension, but I haven't broken a blade, so there's no reason for that tension to be loose. If it makes that sound again, then it is the tension, but it's probably not. There we go. I don't know if I'm getting tired or hungry or both. We may wind down the live stream. I don't know right when it'll end, but I won't be here for another hour unless I get a burst of energy. And because these are fingers, I'm trying a little harder to stay on the line to maintain their shape. Yeah, I think when I'm done with this glove, I'll head to bed, by God. But we still got a few more cuts to do. You're welcome, Jerry. I don't know what you're thanking me for because that's because I I got distracted. Hello, Russ.
What's going on, fella?
Not a whole lot of nothing. Is there something moving around where you're at, or did I drop something?
Nothing moving around that I know of. My wife's over there doing her
Okay,
little
that
thing.
might have been what I heard. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Russ Meadows, you want to tell people they can find you on the social media?
Okay. Rusty Nails with a Z Woodshop. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. The usuals.
Well, all right. That is Rusty Nails with a Z.
Yassa.
Hello,
Hello,
Donna Smith.
Donna.
All right, I'm gonna. Russ is big in my heart, but I need to make him small so I can see what I'm doing. All right. Yeah, I just had this last second decision to do a live stream. That's why it's at a weird hour.
Yeah, I know.
Although I did tell people after I'm done with this glove, I'll probably be ending it. But I've been here for close to 2 hours. It
Really?
ain't nothing personal. Yes, sir.
I must admit, I fell asleep in this computer chair. I woke up looking at a video I didn't even click on. And,
Yeah, that happens when a live stream ends. So you might have been
yeah.
watching a live stream.
No, I was just a regular video. I was watching some YouTube videos and I just nodded off. And I woke up again and I don't know what I was looking at, but it wasn't what I was started on. Then I saw your link. I said, what? I tried to get that guy to come on and hang out. He wouldn't even come on. Now he's on live.
Well, I was drawing this and drilling pilot holes and all that kind of crap, and I don't
Yeah,
know how
that's
to
what I
do a
told my
hangout.
wife. I said, he said he was getting a thing ready for a live, but I didn't know it's tonight.
I didn't either. Once I got it ready, I figured, what the hell? Let's try it.
Oh, yeah.
Love Angel says it's 7:24 a.m. there, 1:25 a.m. here, so she's
Yeah.
what, 6 hours ahead of us.
Yep.
Figured that all by myself. Now I don't have it in the clamp right.
Well, that's all right because I don't have much of a drink. It'd be a waste to get that little bit if you
Yeah.
broke it.
Well, I'll just go in here. I'll get you something.
Mm.
And for the sake of your wife, tell her welcome to my channel.
I'm not gonna do it.
All right. You want to live another day?
Yeah, I kind of like having the head stuck on the neck. I know. I'm gonna send you something in the private chat there, buddy.
All right. That was an inside joke for those that don't know. I can't go into more detail out of respect. And you'll always know when Russ is typing because it sounds like he's beating the crap out of his keyboard. He has to replace his keyboard once every 2 weeks. I'm just
All
kidding.
right, I'm trying to go real slow and not be so hard on it.
No, you can't. I'm just giving you hell for it. That's what I do. We got 8 people watching. If you got any comments, just chunk them on out there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more cuts on the glove. 7 more. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more cuts. Okay, I can count. Excuse me. actually gotten pretty lucky since I went live. I haven't broken a blade, knock on wood. Before I went live, I broke one.
What?
Or one or two.
Yeah, I was telling them in the hangout earlier tonight, Steve, and heard that I've got to order some more 2/0 and 3/0 spiral blades. I'm down to my last one.
I have never consistently tried anything smaller than a 3 because I can't get them to work. All right, man. You know, Happy Hoarder has been pretty active in the
Yeah, I know.
in
I've
the
seen
chat, and I don't think I've ever taken the time to check out her channel. I suck.
that. Well, she was on with Robin tonight. Billy and her were on with Robin tonight.
Cool.
My wife was watching it, and naturally, she's sitting in here, so I got a good earful.
I'm not even. I'm not even entirely sure I've ever checked out Love Angel's channel. Man, I'm
I
a
don't think
terrible
I have
friend.
either. I just know her from here.
Yeah, I don't even know if she has an active channel because I've slept since then. And who are you?
Well, Donna, what are you going to say about that? Hey, man, don't stop cutting.
I'm sorry.
Keep
Well,
working.
the quicker I cut, the quicker I have to go.
That's all right. I didn't know how long I was going to be here anyways. I'm kind of glad you're cutting it off early.
Hey. Trying to figure out if I'm more tired than hungry or hungry than tired, but I guess worst case scenario, I'll eat in bed. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Donna says she doesn't have an active channel.
All right, then I don't feel as guilty.
There you go. Me neither, Maynard.
Okey-doke.
Happy Hoarders Jerry, she said it's a pretty active channel. I mean, her channel is pretty active.
Yep. And I have got to check it out. I suck.
I'm not arguing with you.
Find out who your friends are.
Right quick, eh?
Mine used to be active as hell, and now it's just every now and then. I gotta work on that.
I'll help you.
Well, Jerry says she needs peanut butter.
Oh,
I
sorry,
love me
Get
some Peter
Biscuit
Pan
off
creamy
cookies,
peanut
too.
butter.
Yum.
No, I take me some peanut butter and Steen's ribbon cane pure syrup. I'll take that right now.
Oh, I love peanut butter and syrup. God, I might. You see,
Yes, sir.
now, one way to make me into live stream is to get me hungrier. Dang,
I know it, man. I know it. We work hard on it.
matter of fact, I am gonna make this my final cut because I'm starving now. Sorry, folks.
I have done my job.
I think Jerry helped. But
Yep.
if you're subscribed, click on that bell, click on the word all. By God, next time I go live, you won't miss a thing. And I got tired of messing with the leopard, Russ. That's why I decided to do this.
Yuck to that.
I got 80,000 spots I can do, and nobody will even notice.
Ah, man, I love my Steen syrup.
That is so gross.
Yeah, I have no
Gross.
sense of taste whatsoever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh-oh, Teresa commented here.
Yeah. She said, I told you he eats peanut butter and Steen's pure ribbon cane syrup. That is the absolute best here.
Sounds like you're doing a commercial.
I'm not getting paid. I'm not sponsored, but I wish I was.
And Jerry says, yes on a pancake, by
I'll
God.
take them on a pancake, but I love it on my peanut butter.
Yeah, I love peanut butter and syrup. I haven't had pancakes forever. I haven't had I should really speak quicker and say peanut, not peen, and then stop there. Anyway, that's the child in me coming out. But anyway, One thing that changed as I got older, I used to eat straight out of the jar of Peter Pan,
Oh yeah.
but now if I try to eat just straight peanut butter, it makes me nauseous. And I don't mean mentally, physically it does. That breaks
Mm.
my heart because I love peanut butter. But I hate peanuts,
Yeah.
go figure.
I'm the same way. I don't eat peanuts, but I love peanut butter.
Amen. And I hate apples, but I love apple butter, applesauce, and apple juice.
Apple butter is one of my favorites, and I can mix that with peanut butter and eat that by itself.
I don't like watermelon for nothing. The texture bothers me. Same with celery. John S. says, looking great. Thanks for the demo, Charles. Thank you, John S. Thank you, everybody that took the time to drop by God. I believe we were up to 12 or 16 or something like that at one point. But
That's pretty good for this time of night.
absoluteness, that thrills me all to hell. But I appreciate everybody that took the time to drop by.
Well,
And
give me your Arabic voice, buddy. I hadn't heard it in a while.
and what they're talking about this
Here,
is right
break all the
here.
blades you want. He's got a full one.
Well, good Lord, I'm ending the live stream. I'm
He's
sorry.
he's in the live stream. He got hungry.
But I'm talking like this for Russ's sake, yes.
Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here, and if Russ can point at the camera, we'll be done even quicker. But
Wait
we're
a
gonna
minute.
sign.
I mean, which hand am I pointing at? Still off.
Okay, this is the thing. For those that don't know, I always end my live streams by saying scroll on, and I point at the camera. But see, I'll probably aim better than Russ will, and I'm not even in front of the camera.
I'm
But
off to the side. I just can't. I can't. Hey, how about that?
We'll go with that. I can hardly see anyway.
I almost moved it.
Okay. No, you're pointing up. You got to point.
I was
right
pointing
the
right
camera.
at the camera. Okay.
See, I'm pointing right at the camera.
How about that?
I appreciate everybody taking the time to be here, and as always, we'll see you next time. And say the
Scroll
magic
on.
word. Scroll on, baby.